welcome to Good Game. I'm Bajo.
And I'm Hex.
Tonight we answer the call to watch over those that need watching in Overwatch.
No!
Hello, it's just me.
Here comes the Titan, I said.
Plus, you'd better order that pizza, Bajo, because we've got a date with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No pineapple.
Pineapple's great.
I'm serious, no pineapple.
Time to smash some shells. Yo, can you talk to this guy? Guess he's trying to bring home the bacon, huh?
No anchovies, and I mean no anchovies. If you put anchovies on this thing, you're in big trouble, okay?
That pineapple.
It's on its way. Also, we investigate how inclusive the games industry is when it comes to supporting and representing the LGBTQI community.
In an era where we have to get as much of an audience as we can, why wouldn't we expand the people that our game is actually speaking to?
Should have ordered half and half.
Hex, just enjoy and accept the pizza for what it is. But first, can you name the game for this week? Alright, dudes and dudettes, it's time to check out the totally new radical game from those heroes in a half shell, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan, featuring Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo, couldn't find Michelangelo.
Cowabunga, Bajo! That's right, the pizza-munching mutants have to team up once more to put a stop to those no-good Nicks, Krang and Shredder and their evil plans. Gnarly.
This is full of badass gameplay ideas, like having to hold a button.
You'll be spamming heaps of attacks and struggling to see what's going on.
Featuring radical, reused, and repetitive levels. Bitchin'.
Can we stop all this now, Bajo? All these crash zooms are giving me a headache.
Yes, please. You know what, Hex? Even if we were back in the 90s reviewing this game, I think we would still hate Mutants in Manhattan.
Yeah, and it's so disappointing too after seeing what developer Platinum Games did with their recent Transformers game. I mean, that was a surprisingly deep and challenging fighter with a lot of heart and some impressive spectacle to boot.
Yeah, and my first impressions of this were quite similar. You know, it's based more on those old school cartoons than the Michael Bay abominations. And I was thinking maybe we could get our first good Ninja Turtles game in a decade. Shouldn't have got my hopes up though, should I have, Hex?
Live and learn.
Yeah, this is a mess. There aren't a lot of redeeming qualities here. At its core, this is a fighter, and the fighting is not good.
You've got a light and heavy attack to block and counter moves, which can be all you need to create interesting and deep combat. I mean, look what the Arkham games did with that. The action is way too busy and sloppy to actually bring any real skill or finesse to the table. I mean, this just becomes a button masher.
Yeah, in this style, having these four turtles fight next to each other seems really cluttered. It's often hard to know where you are or what the enemies are doing. So you tend to just wander into fights and spam attacks until you're done.
And there's almost zero telegraphing from enemies that are about to attack. There's no Arkham-style lightning over their head or any signal outside of a quick bit of animation, and in the messy heat of battle, it just makes the whole block and counter move essentially useless.
Not to mention, you don't have to work hard to stay alive. If you're playing solo and you get knocked down, a fellow turtle will just come pick you back up again. And if they don't manage to get to you in time and you die, then you just swap into another turtle.
Leo's been knocked out. You're gonna have to pull through with just the three of you.
And then the dead turtle will just reappear after a little while anyway. And there's no local co-op, which is madness, Hex. It's madness. And when you are playing online, you do have to rely a little bit more on other players to pick you up, but it is rare that you will totally wipe. Most of the time, people are just running around trying to figure out what's going on, and you'll probably just quit out of frustration.
Yeah, I think a lot of the problems here come from the focus on co-op. When Platinum Games focus on just one character, like in Bayonetta or Vanquish, their action games are usually excellent and full of great spectacle. But I feel like the four-player mechanic has confused everything and just means we don't get any of their trademark over-the-top set pieces here.
It feels really unfocused, and it's like they've missed the point of why we want to play a Ninja Turtles game, which is that four-player co-op. And I don't think this style choice really incorporates that four-player co-op well.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like they've gone for a kind of MMO style of combat without the depth required to make that kind of combat interesting.
You're encouraged to constantly switch turtles and use all their ninjutsu moves to help you through fights. But at the end of the day, that doesn't really add any real strategy to it at all.
Yeah, and the missions are pretty average as well. Levels follow the same routine of fighting through a few waves of goons and occasionally defusing some bombs or activating objects by holding a button for ages. And eventually you'll find your way to a fairly generic boss fight.
Or sometimes you find you have to defend an objective, like for some reason we need to protect a pizza stand in a subway. I understand the turtles love pizza, but I don't get why destroying a pizza stand is on the agenda for the bad guys.
Well, maybe the bad guys hate pineapple as much as I do.
Told them to destroy the pizza stand.
The design of the levels is uninspired too. Feels like a Wii movie tie-in game.
Ooh.
They're boxy and often feel repetitive, like the sewer level that just goes on and all looks exactly the same. And they rely heavily on making you use turtle vision, which highlights enemies and objectives to help you navigate. And this is a common technique used when your level design isn't smart enough to naturally guide the player.
I will say though that one of the best parts of the game is absolutely character movement. You can clamber up walls and slide along rails and wire. It's kind of like a basic Sunset Overdrive, and there is a slight mundane joy in picking up the glowing green orbs scattered around the levels. You know, like Crackdown.
Yeah, some of that was nearly fun. Thankfully, you don't have to suffer through the pain for long because the game's only about 4 hours.
I like how you managed to make that sound like a positive thing.
What can I say? I'm a glass half full kind of guy. This was a real disappointment. It feels so rushed, and maybe it's trying to ride the wave of the new Michael Bay movie. Either way, I had a bad time. I'm giving it 1.5 for the half shells.
Yeah, that sounds fair to me. I'm giving it 1.5 as well.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Hex, there's something I need to do. Back to the sewers where you belong.
When it comes to sexuality, the games industry has seen a positive shift to more inclusive and diverse content. But these changes are often surrounded by controversy and outrage online, alienating LGBTQI players.
We spoke to a number of LGBTQI people involved in the games industry to discuss why so much controversy surrounds sexuality and what can be done to foster a more welcoming gaming community.
I can tell you that when I first got in the game industry, I was surprised at how conservative it was. And it still stayed, at its core, it stayed a little conservative, at least compared to like TV and movies. I think that's changing.
With BioWare, we had romances in our games. It sort of became very quickly apparent that we were sort of initially doing straight romances because that was the default. By doing that and only that, we were telling our own audience, this is who our games are for. And it seemed like it wouldn't be that hard to just expand the possibilities a bit. In an era where we have to get as much of an audience as we can, why wouldn't we expand the people that our game is actually speaking to? Yeah, there are some people that are going to resist that. I mean, if default is invisible, but that means anything that isn't the default, right away they're like, well, why is that there? Like, it has to justify its inclusion. You don't ask, why is the hero a white straight guy? He just is. But if it was a woman or a gay man, something that's like, well, why is it a woman?
I mean, when you go to an inn and there's an innkeeper's wife, well, there's right there, you've already established, you know, if the innkeeper's a guy and he has a wife, he's heterosexual. So when people bring up that they don't like hearing, like, there's the innkeeper and his husband, I'm like, this is no different than, you know, all the previous games you've played. So you didn't complain about it there, so you shouldn't be complaining about it here.
If you don't understand the kind of like the larger picture and you're just like, I just want to like have fun and I don't want to hear all this like preachy stuff, like no one's going to take that away from you. But at the same time, like, we exist, queer people exist, people of color exist, we play video games. If you really love gaming and you say that you love gaming as much as you do, we should be allowed to explore all elements of it.
Having something other than a straight white guy shoot people in games shouldn't be considered diversity. It should be considered the bare minimum for interesting and complex storytelling. And until we include more characters and more viewpoints in games, we're not going to be the art form and the respectful form of storytelling that we want to be.
Damn.
Right now, there's some people that are saying, oh, it just feels very deliberate. And that's probably because it is. Because it has to be. I mean, without deliberate action, it's not going to change. You just do the default.
Some of that can be handled if big publishers in large games just introduce characters naturally that are diverse without forcing it in, because sometimes it feels a little shoehorned. I think that just gets people used to the fact that games contain all kinds of people. It's like movies and books and TV shows. Gay characters should just be part of the landscape you find in the game.
Trans representation in games, I guess it's a lot harder to do because, I mean, gay characters are about sexual orientation and relationships, so you can show a gay relationship on screen quite easily. And to show a trans character on screen is kind of hard because trans people who have transitioned are just kind of normal people. I mean, having a trans character in a game almost seems like you just need to like point at the character and go, oh, that character is trans.
In time, we all came to understand I was truly a woman.
What would be more interesting is kind of, gender fluid or non-binary characters. I remember growing up, there wasn't a lot of stuff on purpose, but a character that kind of really sat well with me was Samus from Metroid. In the first Metroid, you didn't know Samus's gender and was presumed male, and it was only in the last level when she took off her armor that you saw that she was female. It was kind of this reveal, and for me, that was kind of a big trans role model.
I've got to say, as a very out lesbian, I don't think there has been a game that has featured a character like me who I could connect to. It was beautiful in Gone Home to discover that it wasn't as bleak as you thought it was going to be. And it was nice in the DLC for The Last of Us to see that kind of Ellie had some brief happiness, but I haven't really found a game that has a character like me.
Riley!
I played Saints Row 3 and 4, and they have such an enormous amount of costumes you can put in your character, and they're not gender restricted. So my male character ran around in a sequin dress and a giant bouffant wig, and they go, "Hey, Mr. President, looking good." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I thought that was a great way to handle it because nobody cared. And one reason I particularly liked that series, and I want to point this out, is humor helps. If you're too heavy-handed with it and you're like, okay, this character is trans, you better accept it. I like it better when a character goes, "Hey, I have a question," and it can start some dialogue in the game where you can watch and you go, "Oh, okay, I get it," and then they move on.
I love when I play a game and I don't know that there's queer topics in it. Recently, I've been playing the new Fire Emblem, and I learned that you can have same-sex relationships in it, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's just super nice to know that, hey, we accept you too. It would be nice to see more deep conversations and deep topics like that in future games, but I think it's getting better.
Third gear. All right, revving down, just gently into fourth. It's gentle. You just got to be gentle. That's the problem. I'm too rough. Oh my God, he's just gone to a whole new place.
It's great to have a game which is unapologetically queer or has elements in it which force the issues, so the topics are discussed more or involved in the plot or involved in the system mechanics.
With the way that development works and the way that you can access an audience now and the way that the internet is, there is a space for every kind of game. Like, if you want a game that is just super gay, you make it, go for it, and you'll find your audience.
If they're using it just for shock value, I think maybe that time has come and gone, and that's just that's kind of a negative thing now to say, my game's all about gay people. Isn't that awesome? I'd be like, what else is it about? That's not enough. My game's all about straight people. I would never say that.
Get yourselves comfortable and prepare for some queer. Clickety-doo.
If we can get more diversity in the game developers and a bit more open-mindedness in the people who decide what games get funded or whatever, then we will see more diverse characters.
Just telling people what you want, saying, I will buy a game that features these characters. Because frankly, these are all businesses. They want to make as much money as they possibly can. So if you say, I will give you more money for a game that features somebody who looks vaguely like me, then they're going to respond to that.
What's wrong? Oh, the usual. Boyfriend thinks I'm a cash machine.
I co-curate the PAX Australia Diversity Lounge with my fiancée Karma. It's not just the LGBT lounge where we hide the queers, it's the lounge for everyone. It's a place where you can go and there's automatically a community with whom you can discuss what you want in games.
Events like GX and communities that kind of focus on minorities or queer groups or women's groups, I kind of live in those communities and have the discussions there rather than kind of wade in and argue with idiots on the internet.
There's so many kids that are playing video games these days, and there's, again, just as many kids that are questioning their sexuality and don't really know what their fit role in life is in general. So to have different channels out there that are diverse that they can look up to and say hey, I'm a gamer, I'm still questioning who I am, and it's okay to be that way. And if I do happen to want to be this, then that's okay as well.
One person said he didn't want to play my games anymore because I was gay. But then there's a lot of people who were like, you're an idiot. If you enjoy the game, you're only punishing yourself. Given the kind of games I like to make, I don't actually like to tell anyone your viewpoint is wrong. I like to be, your viewpoint has these ramifications, do you accept it? And I think that's happening in the communities, and I'm glad it did.
Get the healer!
I see the healer. Bye-bye.
Oh, amazing!
Oh, yes. Oh, feels good. Oh, got this, guys. We got this.
Get in, go.
Ah, it was a sniper!
Oh, where is it?
There it is now! There's always a sniper! What a spray!
Good job!
Yes! No!
Overwatch is an online team-based shooter that features a huge roster of characters. Battles take place over a variety of maps that see you aiming to control or take over points, or escort a payload to its destination. It's also developer Blizzard's first shot at a first-person shooter.
There isn't much of a story here, it is all about the versus mode. But there are some incredible and emotional animated shorts which help flesh out some of the characters.
Oh, they're so good. Make sure you go and watch them. They're some of Blizzard's best cinematics ever.
Yeah, some big feelings there. Overwatch is angling for that Team Fortress 2 chunk of the shooter market, but also attempting to have a much broader appeal too. We had a quick look at the open beta last year, but now let's see how the full game is shaped up. And Bajo, it really is a team-based shooter, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's team. Everything you do is for the team and needs the team. There's no deathmatch mode for a start. You won't be checking out who has the most kills on the scoreboard until the end of a match, and even then, it's not even about the kills. You quickly learn that coordination of team abilities and character choices are key to victory.
Yep, healer's down.
If you ignore what your buddies are doing and who they are playing, you will fail.
We're kind of going in one by one. I think we need to group up a little bit. Oh, yeah.
No! Throw the right hand out.
Yeah, and yet failing never really makes you feel bad.
Oh, I know. It's so strange to enjoy losing. And I think part of it is because all of the unlocks are cosmetic, so there's not that much at stake there. But also, you know why you failed, and you know how you can do better next time.
Yeah, they've really nailed that easy to learn, hard to master design, which is a core philosophy of Blizzard games. And yet you never feel overloaded with complicated button presses or abilities. There are still certainly enough combos to keep you busy, so you can evolve your own strategies over time.
Heroes never die.
It's accessible too. The shooting itself is just forgiving enough for all skill levels, but also precise enough for experts.
No! Yes! Sweet vengeance is mine!
Let's talk about some of the characters, Bajo.
Let's. This character design, Hex, it's so good. There are 21 in all, and it really does feel like you're playing 21 unique classes.
I feel like it would have been a nightmare to balance.
Yeah, and I guess that's why they had such lengthy betas. But it certainly helped, because I challenge you to find a single character here that you don't enjoy playing.
Oh, this is my jam!
They're all just so good. I don't even know a game where the defense and support classes are all fun to play. I think this might be a first.
Gaze into the iris.
Yeah, so much thought has gone into each of these characters. I mean, take Mercy, for example. I loved playing as her. She has the ability to soar towards friendlies and then choose to heal them.
I've got you in my sights.
Or give them a damage boost.
You're ready to do some damage.
You know, I usually find playing healers a bit boring, but on the battlefield you can almost feel the gratitude as you're giving people buffs and bringing them back from the brink.
Yeah, and that group revive is just so satisfying, isn't it?
Heroes never die.
And it's so clear what's going on because of the great visual clues.
Reinhardt coming in. Oh.
Revive!
Let's go, everybody.
I'm also a huge fan of Tracer. Tracer is my jam.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
It's fun learning to zip about the map, doing quick bits of damage and then reversing back in time to a safer point with all your health back.
They've got a turret sitting on the escort thing.
30 seconds. Ever get that feeling, deja vu?
Oh, I blew up the turret. That was it.
Wicked!
It takes such skill to be good at Tracer, and I've never played a character like her, Hex. All the animations are so snappy as well.
I'm also a big fan of Diva. We really liked her in the beta review, and she's still awesome. Zooming about in a tanky mech is great for getting back into a fight. Shooting does greatly limit your movement speed, but that makes sense too. And having that second chance to escape when your tank goes down works really well.
And Bastion. Ah, Bastion, what a delightful jerk. Bastion is an adorable robot who can turn itself into a sentry gun that demolishes anyone who gets in its path.
I'm in position. I'm in position, Goose.
Don't hit the player.
Hey, Chris.
Oh, can't even get out.
Oh, far out. Come on. Come on.
Nice res.
Overtime. Reinhardt's down. Old mate's down.
Oh, freaking turret.
Bastion off.
Especially if you've got a heal or damage boost going.
I need the heal.
Welcome back.
No. What?
What?
It's so painful going up against a Bastion that's defending a point well until you work out the counters, and everyone has a counter. Personally, I loved using Reaper's invincibility drift to get close to a nasty Bastion and take him out while sidestepping those slow turret turns.
Here comes Bastion.
Bastion's dead.
Reaper is scary, especially when he's drifting towards you. There's also such great diversity in the visual design of this character lineup. Gender, races, body type. There are still a few token sexy butts, but I think that's fine as long as there's balance across the roster, and there absolutely is, so yay. And it's so great that the classes are grouped in a way that makes sense in the select screen. It's easy to look at team balance and pick a unit that'll work on the fly, which is really important when your team needs to change up their strategy. Plus, it'll let you know if there are certain roles that you're missing.
A good team can turn the tide of battle at any point, and a great way of doing this is combining your ultimate abilities. These charge over time, and if used right, can wipe out an entire enemy team in one hit.
Defend the point.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good eyes. That is it, dude.
Right.
Winston gains massive health and rages out, knocking enemies back.
Who's the monkey? Go the monkey.
Go monkey, knock him off the edge.
Tracer has a subtle sticky bomb.
Sticky bomb.
McCree has a tricky to use but deadly Wild West standoff ability.
It's high noon.
Dang. High noon.
And all of these ultimates have counters too, if you can spot them in time. And a lot of that relies on you recognizing enemy audio cues and acting quickly.
Yeah, sound is so important. For example, McCree has to lock on and engage before using his ultimate.
You did good. Oh, high noon.
That guy's ulti is really hard to use.
He didn't even get to use it.
So there's time to take him out, but it's still risky. Reaper and Farah deliver huge damage, but it's quite easy to take them out before they can be truly effective. I love the map design too, Bajo. The art is lovely and consistent to each zone. Comparing this to Battleborn, which we reviewed a couple of weeks ago, there are a lot more corridors and small rooms, which took some getting used to.
It does. You can have a lot of fun in those side rooms though, where people are running to get health.
I've chased the healer all the way back to their spawn. Now she's dead.
I love these maps too. I think they're designed so well with all the different classes in mind.
Along with versus mode, you can also set up custom games.
Here we got Bajo Hex, Bajo and Goose on the same team.
There are also weekly brawls, similar to Hearthstone's Tavern Brawls. We've only tried one so far, but I love the idea. It's just a great way to mix up game modes and change the rules without having to make it permanent and worry too much about balance.
Yeah, it's another way that Overwatch will just keep you coming back. What really sells it for me though is everything is fun. It's fun to win.
All right.
We did it. Yeah.
It's fun to lose.
Oh, that was so brutal.
Yeah, savage.
It's fun to use your abilities.
Yep.
See if you can keep the city.
Oh, nice ball.
Thanks, Toby.
It's fun to work out why you died. It's fun.
And those play of the days, Bajo, where you all get to watch a replay of the best play in the match.
Watch it. Oh, yeah.
They're so exciting, especially when it's your own.
That was,
I don't think I did that very good. I don't know how I got the play of the game.
1.
Oh, yeah.
2, 3,
Bugger off, Tracer, I'm busy.
And unlocking all the different character voices and skins. Ah, the skins, Bajo.
Oh, I need all of them, Hex, all of them.
My favorite is the overgrown skin on Bastion. You know, it's really hard to find something to dislike in Overwatch. If I were to pick one thing, I guess coming from Battleborn, I did miss some of those tower defense-y elements like the turret building and the drones. I think for me that just added an extra level of excitement on the battlefield and gave you more to think about and really set the game apart from other multiplayer shooters.
I didn't really miss any of that. Maybe it's because I'm not much of a MOBA guy. Before we wrap up, we should mention that this does sit in that high price range of $90 like Battleborn, and that is a lot for an online shooter, which is really what this game is. What do you think about that, Hex?
Well, you know, I'm always fine with a price point being, you know, on the higher end as long as you're getting lots of longevity out of it. With multiplayer shooters, you potentially do if you really enjoy the game. But we should say that, you know, Battleborn offered a story campaign as well, which this doesn't. And I remember you sort of saying that you felt that Battleborn was a bit overpriced.
Yeah, I think it's because of where you see the value, right? You know, and I just feel like there is so much polish and depth with this that I can just see the strategy that I can learn and get better at over time, and I don't sense a burnout with this game. Whereas with Battleborn, after a couple of hours, to be honest, as much as I enjoyed it, I was ready to let it go.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that this game is far more polished, and there is maybe more character depth in there that you could spend more time kind of learning. But I would say that maybe it also lacks a little bit of that character as well. I just feel like I need to defend the underdog.
Yeah, you know, fair enough. I think also you can trust that Blizzard are going to support this for a long time.
Good point.
And they're probably going to drop lots of content and keep the game going potentially forever.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
You cannot hide from me, Bajo.
Goodbye.
I'm just having so much fun with this. When I'm not playing, I'm sitting there thinking about playing. It's just so nice to have a team-based game that's so rich in variety and rewarding to play. So I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, it's deep, it's beautiful, it's exciting, and still completely accessible across all platforms. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. What happened? Oh, no. Rex. Well played.
So, did you name the game for this week? It was Vanquish on the PS3 and Xbox 360 from 2010. You played a DARPA agent in an augmented reaction suit out to stop the Order of the Russian Star from destroying New York City. And of course that means high action. And it was our Name the Game because it was developed by Platinum Games, the same team behind this week's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
May they rest in peace. Next week on the show, you gotta have faith as we review Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
I'm gonna run. Plus, we'll take a look at the second Witcher 3 expansion as Geralt takes on all new monsters in Blood and Wine.
And over on ABC3 this weekend, join us for Good Game Spawn Point, our show for younger gamers, as we celebrate the fantasy genre and review Lumo.
We love a bit of LARPing in the Good Game office. Until next time, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
Bajo out.
That's awesome.
Okay.